Right, evening guys. So now we're back to rolling more of the whale's breath because it's gone crazy. I've got alcohol on my fingers from earlier. I forgot about that. Always get rid of that alcohol off your hands. If it were whiskey or brandy, I'd leave it, to be perfectly honest with you, because I do roll a few days with alcohol in them, especially amaretto. Can't seem to really like that flavour. So we always go for preferably a 12 egg mix. A 12 egg mix. I'll do making sure I get all them little bit of eggs out. The simple reason of is I don't like anything sharp in them. I've seen them spook off eggshell before when I used to put it in, and it's if you can dry it out, if you can put it on a table and it's summer and you can dry it out, get rid of all this slime from inside it, just leave them out like that on a table. What you'll find is that they blend up far better and they'll blend into a fine crummy. You can get a nice bag of them. Right, so what we're going to go with here is we're going to go with a bit of brown. Colour in. That jar smells like in that jar. Good. We'll sort it out. Right. 10 eggs. Another 2 eggs in there actually. Right, that's 12 eggs. That will do a roughly 2 kilo bit. With the ingredients I use, it will do 2 kilo bit. It's an heavy bait, this one. So, right, we've got powdered bloodworm. Yeah, dry powdered bloodworm. Making sure to keep everything dry, otherwise. What we do with that is get a nice spoonful and just add that to it. Rock salt. Bloodworm. Krill. Now the krill right. I struggle with this krill because for the simple reason of it's so thick, it's got that much krill and goodness in it that it's a real nightmare to use, to be honest with you. So what we do is we flip over from the syringe and we go with a good lug of krill. By far best krill I've used. I can't tell you which krill it is, because if I do that, you're pretty much on their you're on with pretty much every recipe I use, to be honest with you. It ain't an hard recipe, and it's as long as you get decent krill and you get decent bloodworm, it ain't an hard bait. A krill baiting ain't an hard bait to do, to be honest with you. It's just, you've got to make sure that you're getting plenty of food value into the egg mix. Now this egg mix will be left overnight for everything to, I mean, you will find when you get up following morning that the eggs have taken on the bloodworm colour and they've gone a really, really red colour. So now we go with the powdered krill meal, which I just use a nice big. Now there's quite a bit of food value actually in there now. A lot of food value, to be perfectly honest with you. That's not even including the food value what we've got when it comes coming to mixing the base mix. Now I ain't got a base mix made up, because every time I'm making these, every time I get a good few kilo of it rolled and stored, somebody wants it. So it's an ardent for me to really pin down, to be perfectly honest with you. But all ingredients are really good quality, so it's going to do well. It's going to do really well. I definitely think it's going to do well on Rother Valley. I really do think it will do well on Rother. Just really because of the krill that's been going in there. Now I may coat the black pop-ups that I've done for Paul in the bloodworm, dry bloodworm. So I've not done that before, and it's just a little dusting on it. It's pretty easy to sort that out. Now this is pretty much how it's looking now, which is a lot of goodness in that now. That's bloodworm and bottom corn. That's all bloodworm, dry bloodworm, dry krill. So we're getting back to that now. We're starting. We're starting to it, and then we leave it. We put a top on it, and we leave it be for overnight. Really, I mean, I've had quite a bit of this to roll, so some of it ain't been left overnight. But if possible, I really do like to leave it overnight. I will be honest. Got a little bit of a brown food colouring in there from Mainline, just because I like that brown. But it don't really need it, to be honest with you. It goes brown anyway. It goes a browny reddy colour. It goes red from bloodworm. Not many colours will take to it apart from brown or like red takes big. It goes a kind of orangey colour. It's the red in bloodworm that does it. It kind of bleaches every other colour out. Now at the stage we're at now with that is that's about it as far as I'm concerned. Now the only other thing I'd add to that is a very small amount it in a powdered form, in a dust, rather than it's lovely and oily as well. Whereas you can, it's not until you have a close look at this that you realise why it's so good for birds. You know what I mean? It's mealworm. I put it in most of my baits now. This mealworm. They absolutely love this stuff. Now I had a flat spoonful of mealworm. You got all them natural oils, which when if you get some mealworm and you break it down and you do it into a powder form, you will know exactly what I mean when I say the amount of oils that come out of it are unbelievable. It's natural aminos and stuff like that are coming out of it. I think I ain't really looked up mealworm. It's something that I've not sussed 100%. I've not really gone into it big. Now the next one now is fish meal. We add the fish meal to the eggs rather than to the basement. Now what we do with that is again another nice spoonful of fish meal that's gone into that. There's fish meal already actually in the base mix as well, but it's a different type of fish meal. It's one that's not as oily. It's mainly to stop that congealing. If it starts to congeal and go funny when you're fishing in colder weathers. Now, come spring, when temperatures really get above 15 degrees, really, about 15 to 18 degrees, I'll use an ground halibut, an oily pellet again. It's something that I always do. I'm not a great fan of using a lot of oil at this time of year. I don't think it does you any favours, but then again, there's hemp oil that's a little bit different, don't congeal as much, but it still does congeal though. So you've got to be careful of that. And then into that, we had a bit of black pepper. Decent amount of black pepper as well. Now that's really nice, coming together really nice. So that's pretty much this isn't actually the even though there's a lot of full value in there, it's not actually where you're getting your nutrition from. I will be honest with you, it's not where you're getting your nutrition from. Just a little bit of that when we pouring a lot in, it's got a pourer on there which only comes out very, very slow, so you won't much oil at all that. Now you've got to put a little bit of oil in. It helps with rolling, and it's mainly to help you with rolling. It makes rolling a lot easier. You don't end up being stuck to the table and other stuff, so definitely want a bit of oil. Now you can see there that the oil in that is, we had this before we even added that touch of oil. The oils that you can see on the tire are actually from the mealworm. They were in there before. I should have showed you that before. But can you see them there? See it? I'm convinced that it's the mealworm. It kind of it contains that much oil that you get air bubbles that'll keep plopping to the top all the time, and they leave it like a slick. And even if you don't add any oil into your mix you're doing, what you'll find is you will find that the minute a carb goes down and it chomps on bait with no oil in whatsoever apart from mealworm, that it will leave a flat spot. It's really, really oily, and it's made me look at mealworm in a totally different way. I will be honest with you. It's definitely, I think that they're getting the birds are getting the nutritional value from it in the fat that they're getting from that oil, because birds love them, and they also do. Once you're in a fine crumb, as long as you don't overdo it with them, they're a really nice additive to a boiling mix. They are. Mealworms aren't cheap, but if you use them right, they're all right. You know what I mean? So now we've got this. This is the actual. That's the actual mix. Now this, I've tested, and it lasts us ages out of freezer, absolutely ages out of freezer. Now that's not me saying it's a shelf life bait, so you don't need freezing. As far as I'm concerned, every single bit I do, I say it needs freezer, for the simple reason of then I don't get people getting back in touch with me saying, oh, the bait that I had off you has gone off, because I've had that happen to me now a couple of times. But I've got the same baits upstairs. One of them that a lot say goes off is KBS. But I've got KBS upstairs in my tackle bag that I've had for well over, since beginning of COVID, so we're talking near enough 2 years. I have it in my bag. Not many of them left now, because I do use it a fair bit. It's probably only about half a tub left of pop-ups, but it's definitely, if it's looked after right and it's done right, it will not go off on you, I guarantee it. But it's got to be done right. But that's not me saying it's a shelf life bait, it'd be right. So now what I do with that now is I just cover it with cling film, because it does smell, stinks. Cover it with cling film, and then tomorrow we continue with the rolling of it. So I've got a fair bit of this ordered. Now I've got a fair bit ordered, and I've got to get in touch with a few lads that have also asked me for it. But they're not local to Sheffield, so I don't know what we're going to do with postage wise. So if any of you know any decent companies for postage, I'd be grateful if you could give me a nod about which one to use, because I've had a lot of people ask me for bait from out of Sheffield. I've even had a few from abroad, Poland, one of them from Poland, and a few others. But postage always seems to do me. Now, I'm not sure we're looking at right pages or what's happening with postage, but it definitely needs. I definitely need a. If anyone's got any tips out there on a better postage way, I'd be grateful, because I'd like to keep the bait down as low as possible price wise, but I would also like to do it so that people are getting it for a fair long price. You know what I mean? It's not going to work out dear for bait. And these are the baits that I'll just give you a quick view of these. Most of you will have seen these anyway that are on my Facebook page, but these are the new glugs that I'm doing. It's more than 100 mil as well. It's a lot more than 100 mil, but it's probably about a 200 mil bottle, so 250 mil bottle or something. So no, it's not 200, about 200 mil. And then we've got the black. The black are shite. It says shite. We've got the black pop-ups. that someone's asked me for. Now these really want coating, and I will be honest with you, I really would like to coat them in that bloodworm that I just put in, the bloodworm that I just put in. I really would like to coat them in that. But they're beautiful little bits. I tell you what, I know they'll be deadly zigging. And then the other bit is the coated ones, what I've done for. And another order that I've got to take tomorrow. They're the other ones what I've done. They're really coated, and they're the uncoated blacks. But those blacks, I really would like to coat them. I'm not sure whether he wants me to, and if he don't want me to, then I won't. But I really would like to coat. I'd like to get a bit more smell into them. Now I've tested them, and they're great. Even the ones that have had 3 glugs and a big coating that I've just shown you, the coated ones, they're holding a size 6 hook up for age. I get up in end and just took hook out. I couldn't bother with it anymore. But it was there a long time. So take my word for it, they will hold a size probably up to a size 2 hook up for as long as you need. They're not going to sink. There's coal dust in there and it's Polaris pop-up mix, so they're not going to sink. So with them you're pretty good to go. But like I said, I would like to coat them, but obviously if you're coating them, they're really going to be, they're more to make, so they're going to be more money. But a lot of people are buying glugs, and they're so they'll be coating them themselves, but they ain't got the krill that I've got that I'm coating them with. So I really would much rather coat them myself, you know what I mean, and have far more. I know then that they're exactly how I want them to be. But that's as far as it goes with this. I'll get back to you tomorrow when I roll it, guys. Have a good one.